Yes, guys, welcome back to SFeatleyTV. We finally have the EPL Review Show, and my God, there is massive news going on in football. Thomas Tuchel has been sacked.
Premier League champions 2016, Leicester City.
Hope to see you soon. Well done. Bye bye.
Gazzola, Giroud again. John Wilson. It's Gerrard. That's a great strike. McCracken getting closer. To the centre. It's Bergkamp. That's magnificent. Van Persie arriving. Oh, what a goal! What a goal by Robin Van Persie!
Yes, guys, we're back, and we are back with another EPL Review Show. This show we review all of the results from Matchday 6, last weekend's fixtures, plus we'll be going through the predictions as well and finding out who won this week's predictions stream. Now, before I start, just get a couple of channel things as well. Spoke to the charity CODF Children's Disability Foundation. We will probably have something in the pipeline for members to basically get sort of three free gifts for being a member for so long. So say like you've been a member for 4 months and you pay or donate the equivalent of what it would cost for a shirt or a mug from CLDF, right? We will then send those to you, right? If you also just join straight up as a member, Featly as a Featly from any level, not just level 2 and over, but any level, you would get one of these pin badges, CLDF pin badges, to show your support for the channel, for the charity, as well as showing support for the channel as well. Big up to Luke Morrison, who's just become a channel member himself. I see it. He's just joined on a Featly Warrior membership. Big ups to you, my friend. Once we get enough Featly Warriors, right, we will be getting to do those. At least I think we need at least 10 of those memberships. Once we get those in, we will be able to start doing extra content that you will be invited to be part of, as well as early access to videos as well. And plus, if you have any concerns, you can always DM me in my DMs that are always in every single video description that you'll find. So big ups to you for doing that. We really do. Means a hell of a lot. Big up to Mike Green. Big up Steven. Will be on shortly. No worries, mate. But yeah, like I was gonna go on about Arsenal getting battered by Man United. Arteta failing again with another attempt to test the big boys and another failure, right? And especially going in there and most people thinking Arsenal were favourites going into that game, especially being league leaders at the time, right? As usual, the Nikola Tesla effect came into play, right? And completely balls it up. And I thought I was going to be touching on that, but we can't, because Chelsea have done what Chelsea do. They've sacked their manager. Like, I don't get this. What the actual fuck have Chelsea done? I don't get it. Why are you sacking Thomas Tuchel? You are still Club World Champions from last season, which he won for you. Right? Season before that, he won you the Champions League. Your second Champions League, which you love to rub in every Arsenal fan's face. Right? As well as Tottenham, but fuck Tottenham. Right? So, why get rid of him? He's an elite manager. He's just won the biggest thing in football. Doesn't make sense. Plus of all, and I know most people are going to come on here and say, Stephen, right, you're top of the league. Why would you want to get rid of your manager? Right? Blah, 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 blah. Because my manager, long term, will not win a title. If I had Thomas Tuchel and gave him 380 mil, we would be challenging for a title by now. Right? Right? We would be challenging for a title right now if we had an elite manager and giving him 380 mil to spend. Guarantee it. Or at least on our way to by this point. We're 3 seasons in, by the way, Arteta. 380 million spent. Still not even Champions League football. Right? And now people running around thinking, we're top of the league. We're battling for the title. Right? This guy couldn't even get in top 4. Wake the fuck up. So if Thomas Tuchel becomes available, fuck me, I want him. Get him. Don't do what you did with Conte last season. Get the fucker. Get him in. I don't get it. And if Graham Potter apparently has now been summoned to talk to Chelsea about becoming the new manager. Fair play to Potter, because he is a great guy. He is actually a good manager. Right? Whether he's on Tuchel's level is another matter, but you can't really judge until you give him an elite job. Right? But Potter does one thing. He wins you. He definitely knows how to get the best out of an average squad. So God knows what he would do if an actual well-talented squad that Chelsea have. Right? That's someone I want in Arsenal. Right? I'd rather him than Arteta. Because he can prove it with a lesser squad. And he's beaten Arteta multiple times with a weaker squad. Right? Right? So, like, this, right, I know for a fact Arsenal will not go and try and chase Thomas Tuchel. Of course not. Why not? Right? They won't go and chase Potter. Right? And try and stop Chelsea getting him in. Right? So we're going to end up to look like the idiots when we are still stuck with Arteta. We're still struggling to get Champions League football. And yet Chelsea are kicking on. Right? With all their signings. Something tells me if you've bought Aubameyang less than a week ago, by the way, it was only just 6 days ago they bought Aubameyang in on the transfer deadline day. If you've bought him in and then it's literally sacked your manager 6 days before, there's something behind it. So something tells me it's planned. They've already said it's not because of the Dynamo Zagreb game. Apparently, in their statement. So it's got nothing to do with their poor performance last night. So it really begs the question that they must have a plan in place. Must have. Anyway, let's get through to some of the comments. I may drop the link a little bit early as well. They done that one. I know the reasons Tuchel sacking. Yes, when I get you on you can have your say. Luca, Luca, you not being fair, mate. Not being funny, mate. But like 1 minute, one minute you believe one thing, 1 minute you believe another. There you go. It's ridiculous. Can't believe they've done this. Now Graham Potter is going to be first lined up. Don't think he's ready to step up to the levels. Never know. Do you think Potter going to Chelsea is good? Only time will tell, mate. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. I do think he will be if he gets off to a good start, it could work way up for him. But again, Chelsea is a very high pressure job. You don't perform, it's clear to see with these owners, they're going to be like James Abramovich. If you don't perform, you're gone. Simple. But then that's what an elite club should do, wouldn't it? Right? Actually, someone tweeted, said, maybe you can't live off one trophy, or obviously forgot about the World Cup, obviously. You can't just live off one trophy as your success, right? Do you know what? We did. Do you know what? We've got someone in North London that does that. Live off one trophy. Who's that? Oh, it can't be Conte. They ain't won anything yet. But hey, there you go. What do I know? Potter should have been the next England manager. He could be. He could be the next England manager, mate. Big up Luke Morrison. Matt did give you a shout out. Massive shout out for becoming a member. Big up yourself, Stephen. When we were linked with Arteta, after we sat there, in my view, was rather I'd gone for Potter instead. Yeah, he was. He also toasted freaking Mikel Arteta at the time. Big up match reaction, by the way. 4.8k is fucking huge. I don't usually get that. I don't usually get over 100 people watching just the match reaction. So I really appreciate anyone that's watched that. That was incredible. And it is so much money that will go to the charity. It's unbelievable. So I really do appreciate it. I had to say thank you for that. Job too big for Potter going to Chelsea. Luca, how do you know that? You tell me, how do you know that? Can you go into the future and tell? He hasn't had a big job, so how the fuck do you know? If he went to Chelsea, it would be his first job at an elite club, right? So how the fuck would he know? How the fuck would you know? That's like saying we're gonna buy this player and I've never seen him play in my life. There you go. Yep, I'm fine. Big up Miss Mel with the donation. Mel, I love you to pieces. Absolutely do. Good work, Stephen. Although we have our differences about us. We have our differences now since you became Arteta in. That's why. Right, there you go. But there you go. Right. You have I've listened to your reasons, and at least you're not like these people that go in out, shake it all about. You do, right? You actually you actually do have really good reasons. You have your evidence and really good reasons to change your mind. So I don't mind that. So and plus you're always going to be my brother. Always, well, of course, you're going to be my sister. Always, mate. Right? God bless you. Always. I might not believe in all that, but yeah, if you believe in it, God bless you. Big up Mel. Graham Potter's style of football fits Chelsea like a glove, with the players they have and the type of attributes the players they have. Hi, Luca, my fate. Oh, I thought that was me. I'm offended. Yeah, she said big up to me and offends me at the same time. Love it. Mate, will tell you for Potter, but what I say is Chelsea getting Potter is big. Potter suits Arsenal. Fucking, how the hell would you know? Who knows? Who knows? It does suit Chelsea as well, the way they play their football. This is exactly, mate. They're exactly the same play, the way they play. High end press, right, front foot. Big up Matthew Bassett. It was actually a pleasure to have you on the channel the other evening. Right, speak about fucking Man United game. I'm gonna kick your ass. No jokes. You can give us a roasting if you want to. Evening all, big up Del Boy. I hope you're doing well, mate. Do you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna instead of going through all the main points, because I'm just going through the chat in a minute. I'm gonna go through all. I'm just gonna put the link in the chat now. So there you are. What I might do now is I might actually also, I will. Let me just put a poll up quickly. So anyone in the background, just give me 2 seconds while I put a poll up. Was this the right decision? Sorry, I'm a really slow typer. Keep your comments and questions coming in. Right, I will get to them. Decision. Right. There you go. Put a link. I've put that poll in the chat for you now, so make sure you do. Mike, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself, Stephen?
Yeah, man. I was alright until I got a shocking news update on my phone.
What, regarding Tuchel?
Yeah, mate. I'm surprised as anyone, to be honest. I was not seeing that coming. To be honest, I was expecting Rodgers to go or something like that. The way they're playing in a minute, and we'll get to that. Yeah, but you wanted to have your say on it, so go on.
Yeah, so look, I think a lot of people are obviously tarnishing this decision with what Roman Abramovich used to do. We know what Abramovich was like: get a manager, don't perform, sack; get another manager, don't perform, sack. The problem that you've got with Todd Boehly, we don't know what type of we don't know what type of owner he is at the moment.
Sorry, mate, I just got to cut in. Matthew, I like you as a Man United fan. You actually seen sense. Most Man United fans would tell me to stick with my manager.
I'm on the other side. I think Arteta's building something, but we won't get into that.
Don't start.
But no, in terms of Tuchel, I think like Todd Boehly, we don't know what type of owner he is yet. He's got rid of Tuchel, yes, but the way you got to look at it is he's a new owner. He's new to this country. He's new to Chelsea Football Club. So he's thinking, I'm a new owner. I want to build the club that I want. I think we'll see the second sacking when he sacks when he sacks this manager. We'll see exactly what
The thing is, Mike, is that he's not just taken over as an owner. He's got rid of Petr Cech. He's got rid of some of the. He's literally taken full control and full responsibility for every single department.
This is what I mean. I think that.
I think why their transfer window was up and down like a yo-yo.
I think this all depends on sort of familiarity and sort of getting used to his surroundings. I think what he's trying to do is if it goes tits up, then that's gutting for you, but gutting for them. But I think what he's trying to do is take full control of everything to then find out who's best for the role. Maybe he doesn't think Tuchel's best for Chelsea going forward. I think it was different with Roman Abramovich because he would just sack you and say that I want him gone sort of thing. Where Todd Bowley has come out and said it's not really to do with the form because if it was to do with the form, he could have done it after losing 3-0 to Leeds, losing 2-1 to Southampton. I think he's done this. He's realised that Tuchel is not the manager that he wants. And to be fair, Graham Potter, I think, is an excellent manager, and he needs to take this. He needs to go to a club to sort of push himself. And people saying Brighton. People say Aston Villa, Everton, Leicester. He's not really going to push himself there because I think Brighton have overtaken these teams. I think Brighton are probably a top 8, top 10 team now, as crazy as that sounds. But they probably are.
Well, to be fair, it's not entirely crazy. I mean, you've seen Leicester the last few years have been pushing up that tree. And obviously we'll come to Leicester in a sec. But look, I'm looking at the table now. Brighton are 4th. Right, Chelsea is 6th. Part of me thinks it's like it could be very reactionary. Maybe because he doesn't understand that about how the start of the season works. I mean, like 6 games in, there's still a long way to go yet. Right, so part of me feels there's that aspect because he's not a football person. He's not a football man. So Bowley. So it could be just the fact that they are just overreacting to what was a shake-all start to the season when teams could be getting all kinds of results at the start of the season until they hit a run of form. What did you say to that? Mike, you there? Nope, seem to have gone. Okay, you're back to 2-6. Look, anyway, it's a massive decision. We'll see if it pays off for them or not. Anyway, we're gonna have to move on to obviously the big I would say the big game or talking point would have been Arsenal losing their first game of the season but still remaining top. But with Rodgers losing their 5th out of 6 games, right? With Leicester losing 5 out of their 5 straight games since their draw against Brentford. Now that should be for me. That should have been for me. Leicester getting rid of him. I think Brendan Rodgers is now outstayed his welcome at Leicester. Right? I think that this season is probably showing that last season is probably not even down to the injuries they had. It's more just the fact that he's just started falling apart as a manager.
The thing is with Rodgers, this time last season, he was getting linked with the Man United and Barcelona job.
I know.
So I wouldn't say he's a bad manager from overnight. I think when he was linked with the Man United job, I don't think he was that. I've never said Rodgers is a. I think there's different levels, and you've got the world class, like your Ancelotti, like your Zidane, like your Pep, like your Klopp. Then you've got the one just beneath that, like your Contes, like your Simeones, your Ten Hags, and then you've got the one below that, which is like the Potter trying to make the step up. I think Roger.
Then you've got the one below that called Hotel.
No, I think it's in world class, but keep him. But yeah, I think Potter's better than Rodgers, which is surprising. Well, obviously, he absolutely schooled him on Sunday, didn't he, Potter? Going into the game, Rodgers came out in his press conference and said, we thought Brighton were going to play 3 at the back, so we played 2 up front. He said, Rodgers said, I thought Brighton were going to play 3 at the back, so we played 2 up front to exploit that. And Graham Potter was like, right, we've played 3 at the back, 5 games in a row, bang, 4 at the back. And it's completely baffled Rodgers. This is why I think Potter's going to be class at Chelsea if he goes there, because 1 minute he's going to play a 4 at the back for like 2-3 games in a row. Then the opposition are like, oh, this is how Potter plays, 4 at the back, and then he goes bam, 3 at the back.
Yeah, could do. He could do as well. Well, Potter and Chelsea have been allowed to have talks with Potter, so Brighton have allowed that. So, which is surprising actually. I thought Brighton would be like saying, "Yeah, fuck off." To be honest, because
There must be a hefty fee involved to Brighton.
Stephen, is this a disgusting sacking? Since he's won them the Champions League 2-3 seasons ago, or does it show Chelsea are serial winners and are ambitious? Unlike Arsenal, Arteta won't achieve a 1/10, and gets praised. Well, you're right about the Arteta bit. I'm not too sure. We'll have to see how it plays. I'll ask the money because it's it is. It doesn't make very good sense for me. This move shows a lack of experience in the football industry. Exactly, that is one definite thing. Big up, Jez. I hope you're doing well, my friend. I think you're messaging from France now in a minute, aren't you? So I hope you're having a good time there with the wife and everything. So I hope you're doing well. Big mistake sacking him this early knee-jerk reaction. Yeah. Some people are going to see this as a very early reaction. I think there's probably something more deep down by it. And again, we've seen Chelsea do this before and they've managed to pull it off, right, with other managers. Whether they do it with this one is on. I mean, at the moment you've got Potter, you've got Potter on in the conversation, which they're looking at. You've got Pochettino, which will be another downgrade. Who else you got?
You've got the Leipzig manager that's just been sacked.
That's a good point. You got him.
You got Roger Schmidt as well, who's a decent manager. The problem is they'll probably go with Potter because as soon as they sacked Tuchel, they came out, or Sky came out and said Chelsea have discussed to open to.
Well, of course they have a plan. You don't sign Aubameyang 6 days before, and then sack the manager 6 days later.
That's why I think Potter has had behind the scenes talk with Chelsea and said, "Get me Aubameyang, get me Zakaria," for example. No, I don't.
Comes out in Potter's biography when he as a Chelsea manager. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right. These are the signings because it just doesn't make sense how you Tuchel. Because I don't think any of those signings are Tuchel's. Because he wanted Jules Koundé, they gave him Wes Fofana. He wanted Lewandowski, and they gave him Aubameyang. He wanted who did he want at left back? He wanted someone at left back, but they gave him Cucurella. Can't remember who he wanted at left back. I can't remember, but he wanted at left back, and they gave him Cucurella.
Was it Koundé?
No, Koundé plays centre back, didn't he? And they gave him Fofana.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I was thinking that.
Because he wanted someone else, and then they gave him Koulibaly. Because he didn't even want Koulibaly.
Yeah, he didn't want Koulibaly. He wanted Koundé, didn't he?
He wanted Rafinha, and they gave him Sterling. Don't get me wrong, Sterling's a good player, but
yeah. Trying to see what they were. Carl Walker-Peters.
Yeah, they were linked with.
That was one link. Can't think of anyone else really. But
were they Zinchenko? I think they were in for Zinchenko in there at one point. I think. Can't remember.
And there might have been. Yeah, they did. They popped some interest in, but they weren't serious about it. Let's be honest. They knew Zinchenko was coming to Arsenal, so they didn't really pursue the idea. look at what he's doing with Brighton and how little resources they have. Exactly, mate. Exactly. Even Abramovich wouldn't have pulled the trigger on Tuchel at this moment in time. This is bizarre coming from American owners. Maybe there's a permanent nutcase on a Chelsea board.
This
Yeah.
is a lot deeper than what people think, though. People think this is early from Todd Bowley, but don't forget, he's a new man coming into a new club. He wants to stamp his own authority on the club.
Well, so Tuchel wanted Rafinha, Sterling, Koulibaly, and Koundé. That's apparently what he wanted.
And he's got 2 out of 3. They replaced Koundé by giving him Fofana, and they replaced Rafinha by essentially giving him Aubameyang.
Which, to be fair, like Koundé for Fofana, Fofana's still a quality centre back.
Yeah, 75 million. That's the problem.
Stamp what authority on the club? What does Bowley know about football? That's the point, and probably why they've pulled the trigger this early. But like again, we'll have to move on. But it's definitely one to keep an eye on. But at the moment, Potter is having talks with Chelsea to see if he'll join them mid-season, which will be mad. That'll put Brighton in freefall. Anyway, we spoke about Rodgers for a bit, didn't we? What else could we do? Oh yeah, the Merseyside derby. Liverpool again held to a draw. I didn't get away with a point. Don't get maximum of 3 points yet again. What do you think's going wrong with Liverpool? They're playing tonight against Napoli, which we'll be doing a watch along for tonight. What's going wrong? Because it just doesn't seem right.
I think they've burned out, personally. I think the last 3 years, excuse me, the last few years they've been so relentless in chasing Manchester City and got very little to go for it. And I just
do you think though it could be the injuries they have had? Because Thiago's only just come back.
To be fair, they had a few injuries last season, didn't they? To be not massive ones, to be fair. Thiago is missed, but I think they don't spend a lot at all. I mean, they spent 85 million on Nunes. If you would have kept Sadio Mane, you could have spent that 85 towards Jude Bellingham, which would have been a deal to do. I think they're absolutely losing the fact of Sadio Mane. I think he scored 7 goals. I think for Bayern, he's on fire for them. I think losing Sadio Mane is a massive miss. They've not really strengthened their squad that much. I think their midfield is so weak. Right back, Trent is absolutely awful defensively. There's just a few things going wrong there. And the fact they have to play James Milner at 38 is worrying for them. But it's not worrying for me. It's beautiful for me to watch.
Yeah, I think the one thing with James Milner is, despite his age, he does give 100% to the team. He's at least usually about a 6 out of 10 all the time.
Yeah,
average
performance at work.
I mean, I'm going to bring up the EPL results now, actually. See what they were playing during that game. Because, to be honest, I missed it. It was something I wasn't really going to watch. It had written on the cards of a draw, to be honest. I didn't. I still predicted a Liverpool win, thinking Liverpool surely would still win that. Right, but again, Everton held their own. So, here are the lineup. So they've got so you can see they're still on the midfield. You got Carvalho, Elliott, which are still back. Elliott's only 18, 19. Carvalho, I think, is only about 19, 20.
I think Carvalho's either 20 or just turned 21. So
I don't think it's just the Mane effect. I think the central midfield is very light. It's very easy to break.
You look at that midfield, Carvalho and Elliott are both attacking midfielders. So you've only got Fabinho. And I was listening to a Liverpool podcast the other day, and they said in the game you see Trent and Robertson, or in this case Tsimikas, so far up the pitch that Van Dijk, Gomez and Fabinho have got to defend but also be wing backs at the same time and be a midfield. It just needs to be exposed. Like they're missing a Thiago or when he's fit, a Naby Keita or a Henderson, someone just to
shore up that midfield.
It's all good looking at that midfield and go, oh, look at Elliott, he's so promising. Look at Carvalho, so promising. But
thanks, Jez.
Defensively, they're awful. See you later, Jez.
Yeah. Thanks for that, Jez. Hope he's doing. Like I said, I hope you're doing well, mate. Yeah, I mean, like I said, that's why I was astonished they didn't try and do what they can to buy a Bellingham. I'm going to run that poll as well. So 56% say it was the right decision. 55%. 44% say it was the wrong decision.
I'm not going to. I went with yes.
Hang on. Let me do one more poll, which is do you Potter.
Oh, this is an interesting one.
Succeed.
It'll be my yes will be the first poll.
Chelsea. Right, I'm going to do this one here, which is about Potter if he became Chelsea manager.
Big up DWTT.
Yeah, big up, Craig. I hope you're doing well, mate. Gary, sorry. What am I saying?
I don't know his name.
Yeah.
Sorry, Gary.
Yeah, I'm forgetting everyone's name. I should be no better. Right. There you go. Yeah, sorry about that, Gary, mate. Really do apologise. Yeah, so I put that poll in right now. So, will he succeed if he became manager? So, well, we know what success means at Chelsea. You win trophies. So, we'll wait and see what happens with that one. Anyway, we're going to move on to... Oh, we're going to have to fucking talk about it, aren't we? For fuck's sake.
Oh, yeah.
This piece of shit. Right. Obviously, Man United going to hosting Arsenal at Old Trafford, and sent them back in with fuck all. Why? Because Mikel Arteta is clueless. Yet again. Another test, another failure. And people wonder why I don't back the man. You can't do it. You can't. The elite managers would have beaten that side. Right? They would have beaten that side. We dominated the whole game, pretty much. Right? Or they let us dominate the whole game. But an elite manager would have found a way to break them. Right? Because not forgetting, 3 games before, this lot were losing to Brighton. So everyone put us as favourites.
No, we're 4 on the bench.
Because we're top of the league, 5 in a row, right? Everyone puts in his favourite, singing Arteta's praises. Yeah, he can't be touched. He does everything. We got Super Mika Taker. Well, he knows exactly what you need, right?
Ben White at the back.
Ben shot at the back, right? Nketiah in attack. Arsenal fuck off with nothing. Well, why am I not surprised? Even with Granit Xhaka on the... And most people sit there and go, yeah, we had no midfield. Really? So why do we dominate the game then? If we had no midfield, why didn't Man United take us on 1-on-1? Why do we dominate the game? Tell me that. You can't. So there you go. Right? As usual, right? He played into Ten Hag's hands. Right? Because he hasn't got a clue what he's doing. Simple as that.
Yeah, I think when you look at this game, I think
Sorry.
I think he done something very, very good. Ten Hag. The game was at 1-1. It was a scrappy game. Arsenal knew that Marcus Rashford was going to try and sprint in behind, so their back line was not too high up to allow.
No, do you know what? Do you know what the problem was? Do you know what destroyed us? Right?
What?
Him making 3 subs at once.
See, I don't even think this. I think this was on Ten Hag.
No, because I'm not denying Eric Ten Hag tactically stalled him. He did, right? But at that point, the last thing we needed is the spine of our team taken out by fresh subs. We really didn't need it. We just do it little by little. But because he left it so late, that's the only time he could do it. Because he didn't do it 10 minutes earlier. And because of that, we fucked up. We fucking fell apart. Because all of a sudden, Anthony's got no space. Rashford's got all the space in the world.
Yeah, do you know what I think won the game personally? I think it was the sub of Ronaldo, because when Rashford was on the pitch and no Ronaldo was on the pitch, Arsenal's backline knew that Rashford was going to sprint in behind. So Ten Hag thought, if I bring on Ronaldo, their centre-backs are going to be thinking, right, Ronaldo's up front, he's not going to sprint up behind, we can push 10 yards further forward. But then what that also allowed Rashford to do was play off the left and just sprint in behind. Both of his goals were running off Saliba on the left side.
Well, yeah, but it's ironic. You take the spine of our team, but the thing is, you take the spine of our team out of the game and put fresh subs on, right? And then all of a sudden, we've got no midfield. It's disappeared because they haven't got a clue what to do. They don't communicate. They haven't been able to bed in for 5 minutes to let people know what's going on, right? Because he left it so fucking late. We said it time and time again. We've won, yes, but he keeps doing late subs. That's what happens when you do late subs. You fuck us up. He's a reactive manager. He's not proactive. He'll wait until we'll go 2-1 down, and then he'll do something to make it look like I'm doing something, guys. I'm doing something, guys. Look at us. Right? And luckily, we've got Martinelli or Jesus to pull our arse out of the fire. Yeah? Well, not this time. That time you lot was going to run out, Arteta. You not work that one out. But, of course, everyone will just blame everything else. They won't blame it on the manager. They'll blame it on the players. They'll blame it on the ball. They'll blame it on the pitch. They'll blame it on the sky. They'll blame it off anything other than the fucking manager. Arteta lost you the game. Yeah, and anyone that has a brain that knows about football would understand that. Unfortunately, Twitter are full of load of brainless idiots. So if you ever do speak out against the manager, you're a twat and you should fuck off. Basically. And Arteta had no response to it.
And Hag just said...
Or that, if you disagree with any one of them, you get homophobic comments back.
Which is a bit bad.
Well, that's what I did. That's what happened to me once. Because I disagreed. Strongly.
Look at Matt. That's just brilliant, that is. That's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, alright. Calm down. You paid 50 million for a centre-back to then bring back and play your fit. Mate, work that out. honestly, Matt, can you come on here and tell these brainless idiots that are Arsenal fans, right? And not all of them, because there's a majority of them that actually have their reasons for being Arteta and fine. But some of them on Twitter are absolute dickheads, right? And they can't work that out. We've bought a £50 million centre back to play as a right back now. Why don't we just buy a right back? And just bring back Saliba one season earlier. He was good enough to play for Marseille in the Champions League but the season before that. So why not? No, of course not. Of course not. We're going to buy a £50 million centre back. Then a season later, we're going to bring back a centre back. And we use him. We're going to play out the right back. Fuck all the right backs we have got. Because apparently they're now all shit. And Ben White is the greatest right back you've ever seen. Like, you mean honest to God? Seriously? Some of these people need to literally have their brains screwed on. Because they've obviously forgotten it when they got out of bed this morning. You know? But you lot keep believing in Arteta, and I mean, like, just let me have my opinion, right?
But
One thing I do get annoyed with is when rivals telling me that I should be Arteta in. No. I'm telling you should be Glazers in, should you? It's your club. It's your club, right? If I want to be Arteta out because of my reasons, I will be Arteta out. I made a statement saying he will never, until he gets this challenging for a title, I will not back this manager. And that's the end, and that's what I'm sticking with. Unless I'm a bit proven otherwise. Matty, how are you doing, mate?
Well, good day, thanks, Steve. How are you?
Yeah. You can gloat, you can take the piss, right? Or you can just feel sorry for us. I don't mind.
Nah, I'm not going to go or take the piss. I'm going to state a few basics here about Arsenal.
Oh, thank you.
First of all, Arteta doesn't have the nous about him as a coach to take it to the next level. I'm sorry, he's just not good enough. He's a decent coach. He's not a bad coach, but is he in the elite level of coaches that you need to compete against Guardiola, a Klopp, an Eric?
That's exactly what I've said all along.
Before today, a Tuchel? No. He's not going to get you to their level because he's not that calibre of coaches. He'll never be that calibre of coach. He's just not good enough. Secondly, your transfer dealings are mind-boggling. You had Saliba out on loan for 2 years, who's a really good centre-back. Yeah. You've paid £50 million.
Didn't even give him a chance.
You've paid £50 million for Ben White, who was good in the back three at Brighton. You then bring Saliba back to play centre-back, to play your £50 million centre-back, who played in the back three, by the way, at right-back. Now, right-back and centre-back are two different positions, and when you're playing in the back three, it's slightly easier anyway, because you've got good defensive cover in and around you. At full-back, you have no defensive cover. Especially if you're a wide player, that one that's in front of you doesn't track back. And I watched the game Sunday, and I watched Ben White positionally. He was shocking. He was absolutely shocking. And
Hallelujah! I told someone this because he said we've got the best centre back defence depth in the league, and I strongly disagreed. And the thing I got back was a homophobic comment.
Well, first of all, I want to say about the homophobic comment. Anybody who makes any homophobic comments, racist comments, or anything when it comes to footballing debates and people putting their points across, you automatically lose the battle.
Because I said his comments are stupid and dumb, and please, if you're going to make statements like this, fuck off. That is what I said. in a nutshell. And I believe it was Mr. Silver Fox that was.
What you said, Stephen, is a fair comment. There's no aimed abuse or.
I got told that I'm abusing him.
No. On the basis he's made a homophobic comment, he needs to go look at himself as a person first and foremost. The fact he's bringing up homophobic comments, and I say this about people who make racist comments, homophobic comments, anything of that calibre when it comes to a footballing debate, you've lost straight away. Anyway, you shouldn't be making any comments of that. That has no relevance to the game.
You see all these designs and all these overlays and stuff and thumbnails that I've done, right? That's all because, like, either Tort's done them originally when he used to work on my channel, when he works on my channel, right? Or he's helped teach me to do, right? And we all know Torque, and Torque has that logo. I was the first one to put that logo on my banner. Right? I won't stand for it. I won't stand for any of it. So if someone's going to do that to me on Twitter, I'm going to call them out.
Yeah, and you should do. And I suggest all football fans go and call out people who make racist comments, sexist comments, homophobic comments.
But because I'm Arteta out, no one said a word, and I got told to shut up.
Every football fan has a right to their opinion on what's relevant to their club, whether it be the coaches, the players, how the club's run internally, anything. But you automatically lose that battle the moment you start talking about a person's race, a person's religion, a person's sexuality, etc., etc. The moment you bring that in, you've lost. Go away. You shouldn't be around. You shouldn't be on social media, and you need to go and sort yourself out as a person first and foremost. Totally unacceptable in today's society. Utterly disgusting. Utterly disgusting. I want to say
trust me, if he was Arteta out, and I was Arteta in, everyone would jump on his case and call him out.
Yeah,
but because I'm Arteta out, they won't say a word.
Yeah, no, I think that's the big problem with your fan base. There's too many people who won't be called out simply because they go with the wind and they follow what the majority of the other fans are saying on social media.
Exactly.
I've said for time about Arteta, he's just not good enough. He doesn't have the tactical nous about him. He doesn't have the nous about him as a person, to be fair. He'll never win you anything major. He'll never get you to competing against the Klopps and the Guardiolas and the Contes.
I could go back at some of the press conferences he's had and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Is that really your standards? Really? If that is, fuck off. Do me a favour. You see this badge, mate? This is the badge that actually had standards.
Yeah.
Something you don't fuck all about.
So, I'm old enough to remember Fergie versus Wenger. I'm old enough to remember the war between Keane and Vieira, Ian Wright, Peter and Michael. It come down to winning. I recall you not winning the league at Man United back in the 90s with Mark Overmars scoring the winner. Yeah, I'm an old man. I've seen it all.
I don't really remember that one, but I remember 2002. My mum let me stay up that night.
I've seen a lot when it comes to Man U Arsenal and the history. And I watched the game Sunday and I thought, you've got a world-class coach who's got an inferior squad versus a superior squad with an inferior coach. And tactically, Arteta got schooled by Eric. You played a £50 million centre-back, outright back. What about one of Man United's biggest strengths is the wide forward options in having Sancho, Rashford and Anthony. Yeah. And Arteta was utterly clueless as to going, right, we need to stop these players because these are the key players for Man United at the moment in this area with how they're playing. Because obviously Ronaldo's not played that well. Rashford's kind of adapted this game because currently playing through the middle, but we know he's not a through the middle striker, so he's not going to stay there anyway. I was sitting there watching the game and I thought, we've got this one. we've got this
Exactly.
one.
The thing is that as well. Like, it just sums it. You can just sum it up like this: he's had 3 years. He spent 380 million quid. We ain't even tasted Champions League football yet, and we're supposed to win the Champions League this year.
You ain't winning the Champions League this year. You ain't.
Well, that's what he said.
You've got no chance.
And do you know what's funny? When he said that, I was on some sort of stream. I remember Arsenal Alex's stream, I believe it was. And this guy, YouTube himself, but my fucking god, he was deluded. He is sitting there saying that. So I said, so you believe that because Arteta said we're going to win the Champions League in 3 years, you believe that's going to happen? He went, yeah. I went, you're fucking dude, mate. You should stop doing YouTube. You need brain. You need physical help. You really do need help. You really think that's going to work in 3 years? No way, mate. He spent 380 million. He ain't even got to Champions League yet, mate. And because we didn't buy a midfielder, we don't even know if we're guaranteed to get for Champions League this season. We might be top now. It's false position. And that game on Sunday showed we are in a false position.
Yeah. I tell you what, the game Sunday was a reality check for Arsenal for what's to come.
Yeah, because I saw in the previous games late substitutions, conceding silly goals. Right? I'm like, we do that against the top side, we are going to get tortured. We're going to get torched. I said it, right? And the reason we had to take the spine out of the team and take all 3 subs off is because you left it to the 75th fucking minute. 75th fucking minute. Right? You did it 10 minutes earlier, you've got time to make other subs. But, hey, what do we know? But apparently he's the greatest manager and he knows exactly what he needs. Fucking hell.
Arteta's not even in the top 5 coaches in England, and that's even with Tuchel not being included because he's been sacked. Oh, look at Graham Potter, and I'll go, Graham Potter was a better coach. You look at what Potter's done with Brighton.
Do you know what, Matty? Last year, before the season started, only Large, the Wolves manager, was below Mikel Arteta as rated out of all the 20 managers. Steve Bruce was ranked higher than him.
I'd even say that bloody Bruno Lage better than Arteta as well. Now that
Steve Bruce was even more better than him.
Oh, I
was
disagree.
more rated than him. No, Steve Bruce was but people rated Steve Bruce more than Arteta.
Jesus Christ. I disagree with that one thing about Steve Bruce. He is an embarrassment, but yeah, carry on. My lord, the savage edits.
I know, but like that was really shocking when I saw that in the paper. Manny, how are you?
What paper was this? Please tell me what paper. I need to know what paper this was in. Was it the Sun?
Might have been. I don't know. I can't remember.
It's the Sun. Oh my God, Neil Curtis of the Sun is. Oh, if you ever want to get a journalist, don't get him on, people. He is embarrassing.
Mate, trust me, I don't listen to the Sun after some of their reports of football fans. But there you go. Manny, how are you?
I know exactly what you're on.
Yeah, can't complain. I'm sorry for jumping on a bit late, but I just got off work and
no worries, man.
I just missed a pretty good discussion. I was just wondering what you guys were talking about.
We were talking about the Man United game. You can have your point about Thomas Tuchel since you raised the point with me. First of all,
here's the thing: when you have a person with a 60% win record and a person who does have a history of being able to, obviously in the last one season or two, he looked a little bit shaky at times. The team looked a bit shaky, but he was able to get things together. And certainly with the purchases he made in the transfer window, it made a lot more sense, in my opinion, at least, for him to get some time to work with those new signings. One of them wasn't even able to play for the club because of some work permit issues. And another of those signings was his protege.
Don't forget, last season he did win the Club World Cup and Super Cup. So He was
Oh,
still winning
absolutely.
trophies over there.
Absolutely. So when you have a person who had a recent record of success, and especially with the team not nosediving very badly like they did under Mourinho, you don't just bin him like that and disregard the work he did. And I seriously don't know even now what could have prompted that. I seriously don't.
Oh, I know
And I
exactly.
know.
Oh God, sorry. I thought you were
Yeah.
carrying.
No, please go ahead,
Yeah,
Mike. If you
no,
want
no,
to
no,
say what you want to say.
Manny. Go on, finish your point because I was the end just got on. So just finish your point, and then we'll get to Mike's.
Yeah. What I was going to say is like this. It's one thing to, take a look at Chelsea's model and say that they're ruthless and efficient in trying to make sure that they have nothing but the best. But there comes a point in time when it becomes extremely detrimental. And we also have to think about the fact that with the players being brought in the window under the influence of Tuchel, now that he's gone, what's going to happen to those players? Will they necessarily respond to him? Will they be willing to, recover from the shock of losing
But
such an
Manny,
manager?
this is the thing. I think there's a bigger thing behind this where
That's what I'm on.
let's say like that deadline day signing. But I think he's already had this pipe. I think he already had piped it in the pipeline during the summer. He just didn't find an excuse to get rid of him, I'd say. And he thought that this bad start, or supposedly bad start, I mean, only sixth, to the season, and their poor performance was excusable enough to get rid of him. Sorry. Hang on, let me just finish. Yeah, sorry. It's Arteta trying to jump down my throat. Yeah, for me, I feel that it's like they wouldn't have signed those signings just to get rid of the manager 6 days later. It just doesn't make sense. So for me, I think they had this in the pipeline. And I'm not talking about just last week. I'm talking about months before. Thinking, yeah, we'll buy you this guy, and we'll buy you this guy, but actually, it's for the guy we're bringing in.
Absolutely, and this is what I was on about. What I was on about when I thought Manny was finishing his point is, when you have a new owner of a club, they like to stamp their authority onto that football club. And I think Todd Bowley coming in and has said, "Look, I want to build." Look, I think he's a bit arrogant in the way he's gone about it. He's like, "I want to restructure this whole thing." He got rid of Petr Cech. He got rid of that other guy. I think he got rid of.
Like I said, he took whole control.
Yeah, and I think one thing you got to look at is he's ripping it all apart to take full control to then see, where he wants to employ a DOF, a manager, a technical director, and all of these,
Because he's going to have to do that because he doesn't know what he's doing.
No, I think
he's never done football.
He's probably going to get
his own team.
Yeah, he's going to get his own team. He's going to get people in from America first of all to adapt him to the English league, adapt him to football just to help. There's one thing you've got to realise, take away the football side of it, you've got to have familiarity in a new country, a new system. We've seen it with Ten Hag. He's brought in a lot of Dutch players that he knows he can trust. He knows what he can get out of. And yeah, I like what I don't like what he's done, but I can stepping away from football completely into sort of a business side of it, because I do like the business side of football. You can see exactly why he's done what he has. And he's not Roman Abramovich. If he gets rid of this next manager that comes in, in quick succession, then maybe we can start to make a sort of decision that he is going to be another Roman Abramovich. But I'd just say, just watch this space with the new Chelsea manager and what Todd Bowley does going forward.
I just hope if Thomas Tuchel, Graham Potter comes in, doesn't destroy him, because I think he's a really good manager. He's someone I would want at Arsenal by a mile. The resources they got there, and the fact that we struggled to beat them.
Don't forget, Stephen, he's lost Neil Maupay this summer. He's lost Yves Bissouma, and
absolutely.
He's lost 3 players. He's brought in that Undav, who looks like a very good player. Danny Welbeck's been, integral to his system. And McAllister at the weekend showed and Trossard. They've got some very good players. Brighton.
That's the thing. That's the thing. He can get the best out of these average squads.
Let's just say that squad is on the periphery of the top 10 in terms of quality. I think in terms of quality, I think that squad is probably 12th or 13th in the league, and he's getting 10 times more out of it.
I was going to talk about the Fulham Tottenham game, but can't be asked. It's Fulham Tottenham, isn't it?
Spurs.
Who cares? Manny, I'm asking the question again. I was expecting this morning if someone was going to be sacked, it was Brendan Rodgers. Surely he's got to go now, hasn't he?
Yeah, and you can hear it
because they can't buy a win to save their life. I don't know where they're going to win a game.
Exactly, and you can hear it from my mouth now. I now think that it is better if he leaves because
if Chris Leicester till I die, who usually is manager in, if he's saying Brendan Rodgers needs to go, then God help us.
Well, he went over to the fans, didn't he, Brendan Rodgers, at full time? Went over to the fans and there was banners saying, Rodgers, get out of my club. They booed him. They booed him coming to
I don't think that was fair. I don't think that's fair on him, to be fair. He's won them their first FA Cup, though, and he's pushed them, and he's outperformed probably that side to try and squeeze into the top four, and only just missed it by a point or two for the last 2-3, not last season, but 2-3 years before that. So booing him and that, I wouldn't have been. If I was a Leicester fan, I would be embarrassed if I wasn't booing him. To be fair, I wouldn't.
I see why they.
I wouldn't have been booing it.
I see why they're really angry. I really do.
But be angry. No, but this is where you get to a point. Be angry. You start getting angry with the ownership for not taking action. Right? It's down to it. In the end, if you've got someone employed, say you're an owner of a restaurant, you've got a chef that's employed that's not keeping standards to your food and quality control, right? And you don't get rid of him, and you carry on and carry on and carry on, and you lose customers and it gets worse and worse and worse. In the end, it's not just the chef's fault. It then comes to you because you're letting it carry on. Collective responsibility, right? So the owners need to now grow a pair of balls, right? And say, if you don't win this next game, you're gone. Simple as that. So even say if you want to say it in the press, say it in the press. If you want to if he wants his job, you gotta win this game, right? And you make sure you gotta win the next game, and give maybe in the next 5 games a prediction of how many points you get, right? But say you should get this many points from your next 5 games, but you must beat the next game. If you must win the next game. If you don't, you're gone.
I think what Brendan Rodgers come out and said when he said we're aiming for 40 points was very, very sackable. He said we're going to be aiming for 40.
That's sackable. With the standards they used to have, that's sackable.
Yeah.
And the longer this carries on, it shows that their ownership is starting to not look as good as it used to be. Because everyone used to look at Leicester as the model way to run a football club. And now all of a sudden, you're questioning what the ownership's doing.
Exactly, that's the issue. And for me, what really, tipped the scales against him was the way they capitulated against Brighton. Because the tragic thing is, they worked so hard and did so well to go into halftime at 2-2. You'd think that they would take some inspiration from that and try to really, bring themselves together, and then try and sneak a morale boosting point, or maybe even a really morale boosting win against a high flying Brighton team. So for them to capitulate and concede 3 goals the way they did, I think that just pretty much made it clear that I don't know if they were giving up, if they just decided to give up the fight or just decide that it wasn't really worth it. You could see Madison and Amate going at each other's throats near the end. I think you could tell, and I think Ant from LCFC will agree with this, that the cohesion and the team spirit have now gone to the dogs. And so, if it means having to get rid of Rodgers, so be it. But again, people are saying that the compensation fees will mean that sacking him will not be easy by any means. But something has to be done. There has to be another alternative.
Well,
If it
something's
means,
got to give.
yeah,
Because at
if
the
it means
moment, what at the moment, what do they value more, right? Paying these compensation fees to get rid of Rodgers, or being relegated?
Yeah,
Because
because
I
if
don't
you
see where they're going to buy a win.
worried
You
about,
tell
they're
me
worried
where they're going to win a game.
Well, they've got Villa at the weekend, which that'll be tough under Rodgers. Then they've got Tottenham again, which is going to be tough. Then they've got Forest, which is a derby, which is going to be tough. And then I think they've got Man City.
I don't think they probably get a point out of those games.
Maybe two, maybe a draw against Forest, and maybe a draw against Villa. They have an
Yeah.
awful, like Chris said from Leicester till I die. They have an awful record against Tottenham when they're at their peak. So when they're like this, you'd probably see that 4-5-0 Spurs quite easily. And then you look at the Forest game. That's a local derby. Forest are going to be up for it. They beat them in the FA last season.
Careful. This is an Arsenal channel. Let's not big up Tottenham too much.
Or Forest.
Matt, you had to go there, but look, I mean, last point of all is that, like, we've gone through about Liverpool as well. They're playing tonight, Manny.
Yeah.
Surely they can hopefully get a win where they didn't and start. No worries, Matt. No worries, mate. Take care, my friend. Thanks for coming on. Surely they can start off their Champions League campaign better than they started their Premier League campaign tonight, hopefully.
Well, hopefully,
in Naples.
if they do better than Chelsea, then that's going to be a big bonus. And I mean that they do seem to have a few problems gelling. But having said that, you take a look at the derby game against Everton. Had it not been for Jordan Pickford, they would easily have scored 2 or 3 and won that game. But again, both goalkeepers had blinders. They both made some fine saves. I just cannot seem to really get behind this idea that if certain teams are not at a certain points level by a certain stage, then there are some problems going through. Because as long as the performances are good enough, you'd like to think that the wins will come. With Leicester, I've changed my mind because now it looks as though the fight's gone. But with Liverpool, they should be able to get back into the groove. And I think they've shown in a few of their matches that they will and can certainly get back into the swing of things. And Klopp is an astute manager, an astute coach. He will get things rolling. Maybe another factor as to which hastened Tuchel's sacking was that some of the performances this season didn't really look like the Chelsea of old, the Chelsea that dominated Europe in winning the Champions League and all those other trophies. Certainly, the game against Leeds was a big disappointment, but you would think that after sneaking out a win, very fortunately, by the skin of their teeth, that should have been enough to buy him some time. But no, that's not what Bowley wanted. And I think everything just added up maybe. But with Klopp, I think he's going to be given more time. And with regards to this Champions League game, he'll have his players fired up and willing to prove them wrong. The only problem is they're up against some tough. They'll be up against some tough opposition, though. Napoli are no pushover.
Well, yeah, of course, Naples playing Napoli at Naples. I've seen that stadium myself. It's not an easy stadium to go to and win.
Even they've got an awful record against Napoli. I think they've lost their last 4 games.
Yeah. I think they lost their opening game as well to Napoli as well. So they've got the greatest record in Naples. I watched Napoli at the weekend. They look like they can cause Liverpool problems again. Exactly. So they got to take care on that one. Stephen, Chelsea were harsh, but they probably made the right decision. Well, he's available. Go and get Tuchel, Arsenal. Well, I wish, but sorry, they want to go see Benny. Right, for fuck's sake.
Still top of the league, though, Stephen, to be fair, aren't you?
If
Right.
the next
Don't
rival
start,
fan,
Mike, don't
if the next rival fan says that to me, I'm going to flip my lid. Literally flip my fucking lid. I am done hearing it. I have said until it gets us in a title race,
He
all
is.
the way up till April. No, until April, May, right? A proper title race like the old of Arsenal and Man U, that sort of a title race. Then I will change. Then I will say I'm proved wrong. Right? We are in a false position, and us losing to Man United at Old Trafford fucking proved it. Simple. Right? And if you bought Tuchel in, he wouldn't need 380 million to get you a Champions League football. Right? 380 million with Tuchel. If we bought Tuchel in, right, instead of Arteta at the time, right, with 380 million, we'd be competing for the league right now. We wouldn't be fucking trying to get Champions League football. But
Probably would have won a Champions League as well, to be fair.
We could have had Ancelotti. He could
No.
have run the business too.
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean. But anyway, yeah, we all like automatic upgrade, but you don't do that. Let's go for the cheap option. Anyway, right, we're gonna leave it there, obviously, because I need to take a rest before doing dinner and then doing the preview at 6:30 tonight, and then obviously the watch along. So yes, big up to everyone that's tuned in. Big up to everyone that's watched as well. Big up Luke again for becoming a member yesterday. So I couldn't do content yesterday on Monday. I was not feeling well. One thing you will know, even if you are members, you keep an eye on the tab. You will know if I'm not if there aren't any streams planned on that day. It's just because I'm not well and they've been moved, right? And it's the only thing I can say is that we will try and get the shows done as quickly and as efficiently as we can. But obviously, we can't judge my health. It's an absolute yo-yo. So if we're live, I'm well enough. If we're not, then obviously I'm not well enough. So, but we'll definitely keep an eye on the tab, and you will keep updated. Please, if you want to become a member as well, do hit that join button below as well. Do what Luke's done and become a member as well. Right? A Featley Warrior member, he's become, and he gets to be part of extra content. Once we get enough viewers, we'll be doing extra content. Right? Early access to videos. There will be plans in the pipeline about getting free gifts after donating so much to the charity, right? Including even a pin badge for even all members for joining. So do keep your eyes out for that, and once I get that sorted, I'll let you know. But until then, thanks to everyone that's watched. Manny, thanks again for coming on. Thanks again, Mike, for coming on, mate. Really do appreciate it. Go find him at Mike Green on YouTube, and now on road to 4K. So, and yeah, until then, take care. Bye bye. See you later.